Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Stable, and this is gonna kind of be an update video with the 96, and I'm gonna show you guys some parts I got for it. So this is where we're sitting at right now. Hopefully you guys can hear with the rain going on outside. Transmission is in. Need to hook the exhaust up. The drive shaft is bolted up and tightened. We got the inside of the car mostly back together. Hopefully Sunday the torque boxes will get welded, and on the other side, I don't know if y'all can see it in between the seats, I have a red wire that runs back into my trunk that controls the pump for my ice tank and the aftercooler. So that has to be welded, or not welded, but soldered back up. Gotta get the hood on. And in the back of the Mustang here, we still got the Raptor shift light to solder in, which I'm probably honestly going to do that today. The biggest thing that's holding us up with this car is the pinion angle. We've been watching all kinds of videos and trying to read on how to set that, and I think we might be kind of overcomplicating it. Worst case scenario, I'm just going to take it to a shop, have them set that, because I'm not quite understanding, and maybe it's my angle finder. It's not showing negative numbers on there, and that's kind of throwing us off too. But the main thing I want to show you all in this video is I was watching Foxcast, and he was sent these LEDs for his car. I think that's like last fit. So I went ahead and with my car, and I'll show you, I'll turn them on. These headlights are absolutely awful. So when I was down at Pueblo running, my biggest concern with this was, one, I can't see at night, and two, it's finally fast enough to where I feel like it doesn't want to stop once I pass the beams at the end of the track. So the brakes will be getting taken care of in the off season. Bandamere, I'm not too worried about the brakes, because once you go through the finish line, it starts going uphill, so that'll help the car slow down. However, the lighting is a huge issue for me. So these on Foxcast Media, he just plugged them right up. They work perfectly. So I don't know if he did an update video or how they ended up working for him, but I seen the results, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get them. So I got a set of, go ahead and unbox them for you guys. So I got a set of fog lights and headlights. So I'm super excited. The lighting has been a huge issue for such a long time, and believe it or not, the 86 right here, when I picked it up, the guy did a LED conversion on them. So even though I don't drive this car and it's just on storage right now, this has the best headlights out of the 96 and my FJ. So hopefully we'll see how these work. I'll show you guys a before and after. All right guys, so slight change. I shut down all the lights in here and I closed it all up, but with these 4 windows, it was still too bright, and I want y'all to actually be able to see, and I guess for myself to be able to see how much of an improvement these LEDs make. But right next you can see the coupler problem I've been having. The original one here, this one had a 4-inch and 3.5, and the 4-inch was too big. So my dad just helped me, and we're getting this buttoned up. But this is a 3.75 on the side and 3.5 here. I just have this to put on the bottom, and it has a nylon washer right here that we had to take out, which was a pain because it's been on the car for a while. So while that was getting done and the coupler was being put on, that's almost finished up, I came over here and got my shift light mounted. So you see over there, I have to pull out the instrument cluster, but it's like 4 or 5 bolts holding that in. I think once I get that out, I'll be able to take these right here and connect them based off of what the directions say. I need to cut this down some, but I'm also hesitant because usually every time I cut something, I wish I would have left a little bit of extra. So maybe I'll just actually leave it all and zip tie it real nice back there so you can't tell. So coming back here, I also need these, and their website also has a pretty good write-up if you have a 96 Mustang with some pictures on there, so you know pictures always help. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me. My dad is out there using a little flamethrower to burn the weeds going. But so Got it all back put together. You can barely see it right there between the mile/hour gauge and the tach. So not bad. All right, guys. So it's finally dark enough, I think. Those are the headlights and the fog lights on. Extremely dim. Let's see if y'all can see the garage door. So that is what I've been driving with for a while now. And just for reference for y'all, those are my brights right there. So I'll show you, like, I ride around with brights on half of the time just because they're so dim that no one even bothers to flash me. So let's get these LEDs in and see if they make a difference. All right, guys, so these headlights seem pretty simple. Here it is. Lay that right there. Here's the old one, the trash one. So it says directions. You pull off their little white collar, put your factory one on, and then slide this one back over it to lock into place. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So there is that white collar slid over the factory one. We'll plug this in and get a comparison. All right, guys, so there is a side by side with the old and new. Let's see. They'll probably still need to be angled some. I mean, definitely a little brighter. I guess I can go ahead and hit the brights and see how that is. So that's the brights right there. All right, guys, so I was worried there for a little bit, but turns out I guess I got something going on with my passenger headlight, because the driver's side is way brighter than my passenger side, and that bulb was the same way. So I don't think it's the old bulbs, and I don't think it's the LEDs, but you can definitely tell when you look right there that something's going on with my passenger side. So I'll have to take a look at that. Definitely not a priority right now, because I think just with the driver's side being that bright, I'll be able to see much better. I'm gonna go ahead and change out these fog lights. All right, guys, so there are the fog lights too. Like right there, you can see how much brighter that driver's side is though. So I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at the passenger side. Like I said, I think it's my harness. I don't think it's the bulb, because the halogen bulb was also dim on that side. But there it is up on the garage, that driver's side. I'm impressed, honestly. Like I said, I'm happy. Glad I did this. It took me long enough. You can hear these things on too. That's them running. Kind of crazy. All right, guys, so there are the old bulbs. They're Eagle. I said the fog lights and then headlights. Yeah, they're just too dim. I understand, you know, the headlights are the Cobra smoked ones, and then I do have a black little film over the fog lights, but at the same time, I just can see nothing. I know there's other people out there who have smoked headlights, and theirs were way brighter than mine, so just wanted to fix that. Overall, I'm happy. So if you guys want to check them out, like I said, I'm not sponsored or anything. I wish I was, but so these for the headlights and the fog lights cost me $107 shipped. American Muscle, I want to say, for just their headlights was like $130, and I seen all in the comments that you had to swap the two wires because they were crossed. So when you plugged them up, your brights were on, and then when you hit your brights, it was your low beam. So all right, guys, so I went ahead and finished up that nylon little piece I was talking about that is tapped into my power pipe. So this is on there, and honestly, I feel like that's the most solid that thing has ever been. So that's done. I ended up going ahead and soldering that red wire to my pump from my ice tank. Y'all probably aren't gonna be able to see it, but it's under there. I ran it all nice and neat, so hopefully if this thing can get welded for the torque boxes on Sunday, that's up out of the way. I did that. What else? Man, for as long as that was, I feel like I did something else, but I guess not. Yeah, so I guess that covers that. So this thing is almost done. I just have left the pinion angle, which I'm sure me and my dad will get that figured out, maybe hopefully within the next day or two. We have the hood to put back on it, which is actually on top of the 86 right there. And I have my exhaust to put on here. And then this thing is done and is gonna be daily driven for the next however long until I get 500 miles broken in on it. And maybe, just maybe, I can squeeze in a dyno before the track so we can see how much power this thing is putting down. Yeah, so I was gonna wrap up this video the other day, but since I'm still messing with the shift light, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all. So all the lights and everything came on. I went ahead and took everything apart. So me forgetting some of the things we've done to this car. The 96 normally has coil packs that's right here, and the other one got moved back here because of the supercharger. However, for the cleaner look, we did the coil over plug swap, and that's what this harness is right here. So I have the individual coil packs on each cylinder. So the 99 to like 04 Mustangs normally come with the coil over plug swap. So when I wired mine up with the 96, even all my lights and everything were coming off a shift light, it wasn't working when I went on a drive. So I tried to wire it up like the 99, but they want you to take a wire all the way over to pin 26 on the computer. But since mine's the 96 computer, I couldn't do that either. So with that all being said, I tried to find the negative side of this plug, because you should get 0 volts there, and then that's when you tap into your wire. So I just extended the green wire from the shift light all the way through the firewall here. I tried to tap into one of those on the actual plug and it did not work. So I did some janky wire extension right there for now, just see if it would work. And I came over here. So here is my factory plug, and the middle one was showing 12 volts, and I knew I needed 0. So from that point, it was either the red or yellow or the pink and white. I guessed pink and white, and it looks like my gauge is working now. So I'll go ahead and show y'all this time. Hopefully y'all can see those numbers on there. So it's showing my idles at like 20, 21, which my gauge is showing is at like 11. But that could be because I don't have the wire soldered and everything. But it's flashing right now because I just have the launch set at 3500-ish. So the light starts flashing when it gets within 200 or 300 RPM of that. So if I go up about that high again. So got it working now. Go ahead and turn this thing off. So it's working now. The idle's kind of funky right now because I keep disconnecting the the battery. So I can now I can solder that up, make it permanent, hide it, make it look all pretty, and then next I'm gonna go over my my watt box. So just want to give a huge shout out though to Raptor Performance, because I called them this morning. They answered like 2 rings, and it was first thing this morning. He went over and he was guiding me through what I needed to do. So huge shout out to him. Customer service was great. And then another shout out already to the was it N2B watt box, whatever. So no matter what time I've hit that guy up, he has emailed me back super quick. He told me there's something up with my clutch. There's a clutch switch on the clutch pedal, and there's something up with that. So I keep trying to wire different ones and it hasn't been working. So he sent me a whole little diagram showing me how to pretty much bypass that and then run everything to the watt box. And he also sent, like, the diagram called for some diodes, and he sent me the link to the diodes I needed to order off of Amazon and listed everything I need and how to do it. So huge shout out to him. These 2 people, along with JBA, who did the upper control arms on my FJ, best customer service I've had with any kind of performance companies, hands down. Those 3 guys have been absolutely amazing, so highly recommend them. I also have to give a shout out to Jalen right here. He's in the back trying to fix some wire speakers. But Jalen was the one who used his multimeter and found out that this middle wire had 12 volts. So we knew, so that at least let me eliminate that one. And I had a 50% chance of guessing, which right there. So huge shout out to Jalen. Thank you, Jalen. You even know what you're doing in here?
More than you.
So, I had to edit this part real quick and cut it out. Yesterday, Jalen's friend came over and he wired my torque box reinforcement. So if you guys didn't catch that just now when I showed the car, it's all put back together. It's all painted. Rust prevention is done on it. Inside of the car is put back together. But Jalen had me take his friend for a ride in this car, and he said he watched the last video. So if y'all haven't checked that one out with Jalen's reaction, check it out with his Subaru. But he said that he could tell that the car was quick on video, but experiencing it in person was a whole nother story. So he said it was actually pretty scary and that he wasn't quite sure if Jalen should even have the car. So how do you feel about that, Jalen?
People have their own opinions.
So, but Jalen also can't drive his car like I can drive it, so. All right, guys, so made a little bit of progress. So yesterday, I was telling you guys about the wires, how the middle one was the 12 volt and I tapped into the pink one. I tried switching it to the other side just to see if that would get my shift light to read the correct RPM inside. It was reading the same thing, but it turns out, so I called Raptor Performance again. And the actual shift light, instead of changing it to reading off of 1 cylinder like the special directions say, he told me to put it off of 2 since it was reading double my RPM. As soon as I switched it and programmed it to read 2, it is working perfectly fine now. So the shift light is 100% done. I already tested it. But Jalen has made some progress into his car. So he was redoing all his speakers because they were all janky and didn't work. Turns out, he said yesterday he was able to get 3 of the 4 working. Couldn't figure out why the 4th one wouldn't work up in the passenger door. Turns out it was missing. So he did that. And he has also painted the inside of his car black, so it looks much better. There's kind of a little bit of rust in there, so he went ahead, scrubbed that out, and painted it. So there's a little update.